All right, I'm ready.
Oh, and we're live with episode 14 of Analysts After Work. And you see a pretty messed up setup today. Um, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I wanted to welcome Steve Jones, Danelka Sarah. Welcome to Analysts After Work. Thank you for joining me. What's going on?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Crazy.
Well, that was very subdued. And then Steve Bottom Corner, which is Steve giving audio, but then we've got video. So it's just you're just dominating the show today. Um,
I'm all over it.
you're all over the place, man. And so normally when we do these, I like to, especially for folks that haven't met each other, I like to do like let's get to know you. But I understand you guys subverted my plans. Do you want to let's talk about that? Tell let's what did you do to screw me again, Costanza?
No, first of all, you're going off script. What happened to the first question of your session?
Oh, you're right. Okay, so first question, what are you guys drinking?
Steve, we'll let the two of you go first.
Rusty nail.
Rusty Nail, okay. Danelkas?
I'm going to stay true to my Jack.
Okay. I am going with I got the box right here. A nice single malt Highland Scotch. So cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so how did you guys screw me? Because you hadn't met. My plan was to introduce you guys. We would cover all the awkward, getting to know you stuff. But please.
Well, we had
I'm
conversation.
a little angry.
I'm guilty.
Yeah, go ahead, Danelkas. This is all you, because she confessed quickly. I didn't even have to ask.
No, I owned it. I got no shame. So I felt that Steve and I should have already known each other from before. So actually, let's take it a step back. When you sent out the invite, I'm like, who's Steve? So of course I did what any other and I went on LinkedIn and then I was like, him and I should have known each other from before.
Yeah.
So we started chatting, and I decided to do a little pre-happy hour.
So I'm not happy about that. But the truth is,
work related. How about this? How about if you feel better? It was work related.
Whatever. The reason this makes that I'm totally not surprised and I'm only feigning my disappointment is because whenever I am away at an event, you guys are two of the folks that I most look forward to hanging out with. Steve, those evenings, the dinners at Legal Seafoods, which I can't believe is the name of the place, but I look forward to those things. Danelkas, a BBC. I wish we had gone out for Cuban as we had planned, but there's always another time.
You next time I will cook for you.
Which I mean, I'm not going to say no. I mean, that's amazing.
I mean, I'm not sure you want my cooking, but I'll cook for you.
Okay, now I'm scared. But I thought, who better to put together than two people that I really do enjoy catching up with whenever I'm away. So I'm glad you guys were able to connect, and that's awesome. We're gonna take a little bit of a different tact today because I put out into the event, hey, ask questions, and so far nobody has. So it's been sort of like hey, if you have questions, we actually got questions. So let's start with those
questions.
We've got questions. So let's go with so we've got one from Mohammed in IIBA Egypt, who I think he's with us.
He is on the plane.
Why do you enjoy or love being an analyst or a business analyst? So Danelkas, you're IIBA. Let's start with you.
So actually, I'm going to take you down memory lane for a little bit to answer that.
Oh boy!
I know.
Let me just take a sip first.
Take a sip before we're drinking. So I did not know I wanted to be a VA. I kind of fell into the role Did the role for about 2 years, and then I was told that I was a BA. Back in '98, you didn't know what a BA was.
Right.
And then 20 something years later, I absolutely love coming up with better outcomes, like just having people's lives changed. And then I was not going to go into the medical field.
Right.
But this is our way to make a difference in the world and to make someone's life easier. And if that's in their day-to-day job, then I love it. And my new role allows me to do that even more.
That's very, very benevolent. Yeah.
I worry about
Steve,
everything.
Yeah, no, you're an open book. Steve, what's up?
Similar. I mean, I've always had a kind of a salesy and improvement bent. And from a sales perspective, I always like to bring out how things could be better for somebody. And a lot of it ended up being process improvement related. Even when I was doing computer sales and sale leasing returns, I always brought an aspect of trying to improve the process, and I didn't even realize what it was until Baybock 1.6 came out.
Gotcha.
And I was sales specialist, remarketing specialist, and then when the company that I was working at closed, I started looking at what was out there and looking at what I was doing and realized, well, my title made absolutely no sense compared to what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I was doing. I like the process improvement, voice of the customer, a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different UI related impacts, customer experience. I started looking at what kind of jobs were there, and I'm a business analyst. Hey, what's this? Baybock. Hey, all right. So I started looking at that and realizing, wow, I've had basically 8 or 9 years of experience in analytical fashion that I have all the terms. Oh, hey, there's consistency, there's terminology. I was doing that for a long time. Now it's, become codified. It was eye-opening. Looking through the Baybock.
Same sort of experience for me is like, and like you did, Nalkas, I love seeing how the puzzle fits together and how you can make it a better puzzle. But I was doing this work before I even knew what a business analyst was.
Yeah.
And it was that, looking around to see what is out there, probably, similar to your own view, Steve, of like, what can I do to advance myself, but also get into the type of work that I like doing, which is problem solving. Yeah. And that's, so I like you, I was doing it before I knew how to do it. I say the same thing about, doing like Lean Six Sigma stuff. Was I was always that guy who was like, isn't there a better way or a faster way or a cheaper way to do something? But I could never articulate it. And so this was sort of foundational in allowing me to be able to do that. So this okay, awesome. So Mohammed, hopefully that got your question. Now we got one from Judy, who did a great webinar today for IABA. Yay, Judy. But this one's for you, Denelkis, and you may have seen it. So when are you going to get your Agile certification?
All right. So for those of you, Vince, I know you were on there, but for everyone that's on the call, I actually mentioned it during Judy's webinar, and I put out a challenge to all the listeners that were out there. Sometimes like Judy and I have been talking about getting our certification for over a year now, and life happens and we keep putting it off. So I put a challenge out there that we're going to do it by the end of the year.
Okay.
Judy, however, has a date already and everything scheduled. Although she won't tell me what her date is, but I have committed to getting my Agile certification by year end.
Okay. I am not getting mine. and the
Really?
Yeah. I'm upfront about it. I'm using the excuse that I already have too many letters after my name. I don't need more. So yeah, like Steve, you talked about like customer experience. I have a certification in customer experience, and people were like, "You're crazy." No, there's such a huge
No.
impact of customer experience on process. So like and on analysis. So that was but I'm not going to get I Jamie Champagne last year was when I was in Hawaii with her. She was like, she had just written hers, or she was just about to write it, and she issued me that challenge, and I said to her exactly what I'm saying to you guys right now. No, I'm not going to do it. Nope.
Well, I see that we have Angela on. How do I tell, other than the comments, how can I tell who's on the call?
You can't.
Oh,
you can't. Neither can I, by the way. I just see that there's 5 people on, but we've got Angela, we've got Judy, Dan Simon, my boy Dan is here.
Dan, hi Dan.
Tamara's here. I said Angela already. Judy's here. Nicole from the UK. This is the broadest geographic we've had. And maybe it was because I had Adrian on last time. We've got the UK appeal. But hey,
Egypt, Ohio, UK.
Yeah, so Ohio, like Angela's out in California. Like, it's awesome.
To say that.
Yeah.
So along with not being able to see who's on, we can't write to them, can we?
No.
All right.
But
so hi,
Angela.
Say hi to us.
Yeah. If they ask a question, like here, I'm going to pick on Judy here. I can throw it up on the screen, right?
Oh, very
So
cool.
if they ask questions, I can throw it up. So we're here. We're just hanging out. Like Dan, the nation of Ohio. Come on, man. Did you guys? I don't know if you went back and watched any of the previous episodes. I think one of my favorite ones was when I had Dan and Bruce Gay on, and the NFL draft was on. And Dan was just like in his Browns gear, like watching the draft, wondering how the Browns were going to screw it up. Much like I was wondering how the Dolphins were going to screw it up. So, Angela, you just I think you put a comment in. You write it in the comments, so you can just post it, and then it'll come through to us. Because Angela's asking, how do I ask a question? So, I think
same way you just asked a question.
The way, yeah, exactly. So that to me was like exactly what this show is supposed to be, which is we're just hanging out.
Agreed.
We're just hanging out. Like,
Vince, I feel bad. You made me feel bad that Steve and I had a chat before.
Yeah.
Pre-chat, and I kind of feel a little guilty now. So, okay.
Yes, I think you're giving me Agile certification.
No. If only I would give myself one. That's not
I'll take it for free, but I don't want to do it.
That's not how it works. What I was going to say, Steve, I think we should bring him in and everyone else on our full conversation we had before about the grocery store.
Please.
Yes.
So, we have a question for everyone. This is serious. Like, Steve had a really good question for me, and I want everyone to respond in the chat before we have a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to the grocery store,
yes,
and you have your little your grocery store list of what to buy, do you put it in alphabetical order, a random order? Like, how do you make your grocery store shopping list? And I want everyone to.
So you're gonna that's fine. You're actually gonna expose me as a gigantic nerd.
Or a BA.
No, as you know, I am a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, and as part of that, I have a disdain for waste. So the idea of walking up and down aisles aimlessly drives me nuts. The fact of like standing in line drives me nuts. So like we were at Disney last year or 2 years ago.
Wait, bring it back.
And I was pissed because I had to stand in line for 5 minutes, and I'm like not yelling at my wife, but like, we have the magic band. Why am I standing in line? And she's like, hold on. It's like 3 people in front of us. Just relax. I'm like, no, Vince doesn't wait in line. It's really one of the few times that I speak in the third person. So I have my grocery list by aisle, so that it's very, very lean, so that I minimize the waste of motion. I know which aisles I need to go up and down, and so I spend as little time in the grocery store as possible. That is how I structure my shopping list. The only time that I deviate from that is when I get asked to find something that's unusual, which I'm told is necessary, and then I don't, like, I'm also a guy, so I'm too proud to ask where something is. So I do spend time looking for it.
Well,
But
you're
that's
not
wasteful.
alone there. Go ahead.
Do you know which aisles are which direction?
Yes. I've mapped it out, Steve. If I had, I can't show you because it's not here, but if I could, I would show you the map that I have and where key things are, so that I can plan my route of attack.
Snelkis, does that sound familiar?
Thank you, Dan. Thanks, Dan.
You're not alone. I haven't made the map of the store, but when I make my lists, at the end of the item, I put either the caret, the shift 6, or a lowercase v, so I know which direction I'm approaching that particular aisle from and which way it goes. So I've actually had to reorder mine based on
COVID.
coming to the end of one aisle and realizing that the next aisle is the other way. So I have to go one aisle over, back down, and around.
It's like New York City.
Yeah. So there's different ways to approach waste. How do you define waste? When you're at Disney, waste is waiting.
Yeah.
There's also waste of motion.
Yes.
Depending on what the circumstances are, they're two different things. So one might not be a waste in the circumstance that you're in.
Well, and that's the thing, right? When we talk about waste, it's always about like it's my definition of waste. And I think it's usually doing things that I don't want to do, where I get upset about, like standing in line for a roller coaster, and then I do the cost benefit, right? I'm going to stand in line for an hour for a 2-minute ride. I'm angry. But if I have to wait but if I have to wait 10 minutes to go into a movie theater, for example, like, I'm not as angry, unless it's, lately I've been seeing, the last 2 movies I saw in the theater were Paw Patrol and Frozen 2. So,
so it's been
I was already pretty angry going in. It's been a while. Oh, these comments are coming in. This is great. Nicole, you're not alone.
Nope, not alone.
Although I've seen quite a few opposite. We have a few agile people on the call as well. That like.
Yeah, I just didn't post their comments. As the host, I don't have to post them. But like, yeah, I know Angela was talking about it being agile and whatever. But I don't like to waste time, and especially when I'm doing something I don't want to do. I am. I think it was like Richard Branson who was like, if you want to get something done, give it to a lazy person, because they'll find the fastest way to do it. That's me. Like, I just will figure out how to get something done so that I can be done with it. Peace.
Economy of time and effort.
Yeah. And like Judy, bang, like I am loving this like pickup thing. I order online and then they just put it in my trunk. It's the best. I hope they never change it.
I have an easier gig right now.
Okay.
So thanks to all this COVID stuff, one of my neighbors he's like all like frenzy crazy with the COVID stuff. So he has offered to do groceries for me.
Oh.
So I give him my list and my credit card. He does all the shopping, brings it, wipes everything down, and brings it inside the house for me.
Okay.
Get a new cell phone. Oh, damn, that's painful.
Is he maybe trying to be friendly?
No, Not
Oh,
a
okay.
candidate at all whatsoever.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. Like,
No. We've known each other for many years. And
okay, okay. Because I could see
Ulterior
that
motive.
for that. Yeah, if you have an ulterior motive, but
no,
that's a lot of work. So he must
his
really like you.
no, his ulterior motive is that we get to hang out because he knows I don't have the cooties.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very rare for your part of the country. So, just saying.
Beach people.
Oh, Canada. So, anyways,
Yay, Floridians.
so was that sort of the answer that you were looking for, or like what did you expect me to say?
I actually did expect you to say just that.
Okay.
Because I know you. I
Yeah.
love the comments in the comments box. That was kind of cool.
Right. Okay. So what you're telling me is I'm extremely predictable, and I need to bring a little bit more chaos to my life.
I wouldn't say that across the board, just for going to the grocery store.
Okay. Cool.
Although I just learned about the whole going to the parks thing. I don't know if I want to go to a park with you now.
So again, like maybe this is a theme. I was standing in line. It was like 9:30 in the morning, and I was standing in line in the Florida heat to go meet Anna and Elsa. And what kept me going is my girls wanted to meet them, and we got pictures, and it was great.
So that's when you just
I know that's not Anna and Elsa. Like, I know that.
It's all about shifting perspective. It wasn't about meeting Anna and Elsa. It was about seeing the joy in your girl's face when they met Anna and Elsa.
Danelkis, I know you're preaching to the choir, but you can't take the analyst out of and I think we've had this conversation, right? Like we are constantly in analysis mode. Constantly. You can't turn it off. No. Right? Like you see it like the Matrix. Yeah, we don't have an off button. So
I'm gonna keep looking.
I was actually having a conversation with somebody yesterday where she was asking about some of the courses that I've been doing through my online academy. And I'm like, but I'm constantly creating more content. And I said to her, I think I'm broken. Like, I don't think I actually know how to relax anymore. Because even when I'm relaxing, I'm still thinking about other things. Like, I think I'm broken.
You'll get past it.
Yeah?
Look, I have a somewhat of an off button. I have found a semi-off button. And I'm going to show it.
Yeah, please.
Not that I'm bragging or anything, but I'm still going to show it to you.
Okay. This is like the first humble brag. Oh.
This is my off button.
Nice.
I have a 2-minute walk down to the dock, and this is a weekend.
2-minute
Are
walk.
you are this is gonna get weird. Are you on Instagram?
Because I am, but I'm not.
You're okay. That's fair. Because like I told Adrian last episode that like one of my guilty pleasures is living vicariously through him posting pictures of the seaside in Portsmouth.
Oh,
and like, no, I mean whatever. So that because I mean we're landlocked, right? Like I've got Lake Ontario, but it's kind of ugly and dirty. I don't have that. I don't have that view.
That's what keeps me going. I will be more than happy to text them to you when I take them.
Right.
But at least you're not by Cleveland.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm not by Cleveland. I'm not by Cleveland.
By the lake. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, sorry, Dan.
I'm born and raised down here. I moved to Orlando for a few years, and I felt landlocked. So I did, and I was an hour away from the water, and I felt landlocked. And I came back. I mean, that's not why I came back.
Right. Well, and I think that's where I met you. It was in Orlando, and I think we were pretty fast friends. So I guess similar to you, Steve. Like when we met in Boston, it was like instant. Like this is a good dude, and I think I don't know. I don't know because I don't know if we hugged our first meeting, but it was
Probably.
it was close. It was close. Because you know what? Like there are people that you just like, you're good people, and
You are too.
so hey, I wasn't fishing for compliments, but I'll take it. Thank you. So Steve, let's talk to you. Oh yeah, cheers. I'm almost out, so I don't know if I'm going to refill because this is like, cheers.
I'm getting low.
I gotta have dinner after this, and I gotta pretend that I wasn't drinking. So Steve, what's been going on with you during this lockdown period? How are you adjusting? What's been going on with you, man?
Craziness. I started in my living room. Get to the coast.
Yeah, I'm Angela. Santa Monica is my happy place. Being just sitting by the Pacific, and that was my happy place when I was out there in 2018. I can't wait. I'll be back. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, no worries. So for me, it started in the we had a desk set up in the family room, nice big desk. But when the teenager started doing his gaming after school, I couldn't be on conference calls and meetings and have him shouting in the background.
Right.
So I have moved up to our guest room since, nobody can travel. We can't have guests. I've got a little alcove here where my elbows practically touch both walls. Tiny space, but it's up in our guest room. So proximity to people kind of sucks right now.
Right.
I wish I was around more people. I really miss the serendipitous interactions when I'm in the office. Walking to the cafeteria, getting coffee, whatever, seeing people and triggering questions. Oh, hey, what about this? I miss those interactions. It's much more planful now to be able to get any information. And if you're not on copy for an email or something, you don't know what you don't know what's going on. So it's trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
For sure.
It's that much tougher. So it's not easy.
For sure.
I had just simple, here's your work, get it done. Okay, that I can do. It's a little different now. So it's not the same. It's tough.
Well, let me put your heart or your mind at ease. I'm also in our guest room, and this is my office, and there's a bed there. So, like it's
Bed.
yeah. There you go. Right. So we're bed buddies. No, never mind that. So, but like, we're trying to make the best of our situation, right? So I can now I've told my folks at work I'm never going back. Because I can, like, that serendipitous stuff, and I'm being sort of bold about it, and like, yeah, I'm never going back. That probably won't happen, but but to me, there's nothing that we can't do remotely. There's no reason why I need to be in the office, other than, as you said, those serendipitous. But I've said if I go into the office, I'm not going to be productive. I'm going to be having coffees and lunches and doing the social thing that day, because I don't because that'll be my opportunity to do it. So, I don't want to go back.
Have they talked about having to go back?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously our situations are a little bit different, right? Canada and the US. We have, I think at last check, about 5,000 active cases right now, across the country. And
wow.
But we've already, like, I think some employers are starting to go back. We're looking at probably the earliest is September, but realistically it'll be 2021 when we start to get back into the office. And even then it won't be full time. It'll be, a day or two a week. So I'm going to fight and kick and scream as long as I can.
We
don't need to get into the reasons for that. I'm just saying, like, it's, our situations are different. And, so there's talk of it, but nothing sort of concrete. Although school is starting again in September, and that'll be I think we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, amen, Judy.
I have to admit, I'm glad that the situation. So for me, if I would have been told 5 years ago to work from home, I wouldn't know. I would have hated the situation. But then the job I had right before this one, it was we were supposed to be in the office, but they let us kind of come and go because we had a 5-building campus.
Right.
And we were allowed to work from home officially. We were allowed to work from home 1 day a week. It really ended up being a free-ish, depending on the week. And management really didn't mind to work from home.
Right.
That opened up my eyes to, I actually prefer to work from home at times, just because you're a lot more productive.
Right.
And then I took the leap of faith and came to work for IIBA, where if that situation wouldn't have happened, I would have never working full-time remote.
Right.
At all. Like it wasn't who I was before.
And that's why, like, I didn't ask you how you're doing, because this is normal for you, right? Like, no.
I just wanted to share that I'm grateful that I had the option, whereas opposed some people have been forced into the situation. And I think that alone just gives you a different mindset.
Sorry, let me clarify. No. Let me clarify my comment. It's not drinking. Listen. It's not that this is powerful stuff. It's not that I didn't care. It was, I know that you work remotely just regularly, so you probably haven't been as impacted by everything that's been going on. Whereas, Steve probably was. I know I was. This is probably normal for you outside of the ability to like hug your neighbor.
And I want to go hug you. Like I want to hug on a plane.
I mean, listen. Do you know of all of the events this year, and like all of them got canceled, and there's some that are starting to come back right now. So I think I have like 4 or 5 or 6 keynotes scheduled for the fall. But the thing that I was the most looking forward to was BBC, and I'll tell you why. 2 reasons.
Because we're cool.
Sad.
One, I got to hang out with you.
Of course.
And my boy Jared. 2, I've never been to Vegas before.
What?
So like that was my chance, and
COVID blew it for me.
And COVID blew. You screwed me again, COVID. So like, but I was really looking forward to that, and like I said earlier, there's folks that I really look forward to seeing when I go places. Steve, you're one. Lee, I don't know. You probably know Lee from Boston.
Yep.
Lee, I love Lee. I so enjoy hanging out with Lee when I'm in Boston. Last time, I don't know if you heard this story, Steve. I got there and I show up, and Lee he was supposed to be one of the volunteers for the Project World event, and he blew it off. Do you know why?
No.
Pats were playing. So he's like, Pats are playing. Do you want to come with me to Tony's bar and watch the game? I'm like, I look down, I'm wearing a Dolphin shirt. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go.
But here you fit right in.
I know that, but
there's not many Dolphin fans down here.
Yeah. I am going to take you up on the offer of going to a game. I am going to take you up on the offer of going to a game, because I want to go, and I did have a deal. I have a deal with my brother-in-law. He's a Chiefs fan. When the Dolphins play the Chiefs, wherever it is, we're going.
Okay.
And I think they're playing this year, so it might not happen. But
no fans.
But yeah. So, anyways, yes. I mean, next year, I'm sure at some point it'll be back in Vegas. Hopefully, these guys still want me. But yeah. Anyways, it's just it's been interesting. It's been interesting. It's been interesting to see all of the changes that have happened as a result of all this stuff. So,
Agreed.
yeah,
Well, for us, it's been a good thing. We've been busier than ever.
Yeah.
And the cool part is like our chapters are all gone virtual. Well, not all, but a lot of them have gone virtual.
Yeah.
which is awesome. Which again just makes us busier. But I was sharing earlier how a couple of weeks ago we have a Brussels cafe on Friday morning.
Yes.
And then Jamie had done a happy hour in Hawaii, which was so Brussels cafe for me is at 6:30 a.m. It's lunchtime for them. But I did 6:30 a.m. in Brussels. I did 11 p.m. with Jamie. For me, it was a nightcap for a happy hour. And then Sunday afternoon, I'm in Egypt for one of their events. Like in a matter of 48 hours.
Which is really cool, isn't it? Like
it was awesome. Like I love that you could do that.
Yeah,
I could actually go personally meet everyone.
Yeah. No, yeah. I did the webinar for IABA Egypt I feel like in May, but since we've been in lockdown. And it was, it was really cool. Like you're right. I got to be in Egypt at 3:00 our time. Because the webinar was at 9 p.m. But it's been really cool to be able to reach out to, and I haven't done a whole ton of it, but reach out to these chapters that I otherwise wouldn't have really been able to get at, and just say, hey, like, what can I do? What can I do for you? Which is cool.
It is.
And it kind of forced the virtual need for delivery.
Yeah. Yeah, which I mean, I think the Brussels Cafe, it was happening before all this, so it's not like they did it in response. That's just what they do.
I'm not sure if it was before or not. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah, anyway, what?
It is still cool.
Yeah.
We have, and Tamara's on the call. Tamara organized a multi-chapter study group, which I
cool.
So instead of just having like your own little local thing, it was share the wealth with everyone, and they have chapters that are involved, which is awesome.
Yeah. I was talking to Jared earlier this week about doing. So I'm already doing a talk at BBC, but we talked about doing something extra, which I'm not going to disclose because an air of mystery. An air of mystery, Danelkas. But I've been telling him, as soon as you have a chapter in Spain, I want to help out.
You and I were there.
Because I'm there most of the time. Every other year, I'm there for like a month. The benefits of having an Spanish wife, and
I love España.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Do you speak Spanish?" I'm like, "I can get by." And I said, "Can I have 2 more beers, please?"
Did he forget he has me?
No, I'm sure he didn't. We were talking about something else, and
I'm actually presenting tomorrow in Spanish for the first time ever for our group chapter.
Me gusta.
Estoy nerviosa.
Sí, claro.
I've never talked about work in Spanish.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm a little anxious. I cannot wait to get it over and done with.
2 más cervezas, por favor.
¿Solamente 2?
Yo tengo una Coca-Cola.
Oh, boy. Vince, we are doing something together in Spain.
And it's funny, I was there last year, basically for the month of July.
And Angela can join us. She knows Spanish.
No, Angela, no, I have to fight Angela because if you go, then I don't get to go. No, Angela, no. But I was there. So okay, we'll talk. So I was there, and the trip started with I was working on a book at the time, and which still isn't done. And my wife
Green
was
mocha?
like, you're not bringing your laptop." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "If you bring your laptop, you're going to work. So no, you're not bringing your laptop." Anyways,
That's
I
when
brought,
he ignored me about doing the presentation for us.
but I brought my laptop.
Obviously, he was going to write up when he was in Spain.
But I brought it anyway because like nobody tells Vince what to do. And so, well, no. So in truth,
These are recorded.
hold on. In truth, I was then asked, how can we download some episodes of Paw Patrol and Pocoyo and Mickey Mouse
on your laptop
onto your iPad? I'm like, there's no room on the iPad. And she's like, well, then bring your laptop. Okay. So I did that. But
so
the whole
in reality,
time I'm thinking,
not that Vince does what he wants.
no, Vince is a chicken. So I mean, but the whole time I was thinking, I wonder if I could like sneak off to Madrid, because I was about 2 hours north of Madrid. Like, I wonder if I could sneak off to Madrid and just like speak at the PMI chapter, or see if there's BAs around, and just hang out for a night. And I didn't do it because I was afraid. And if you know Spanish women, you understand why. but like, I'm there. Like, I'm there every other year, basically, for like a month. Why wouldn't I just reach out to the community and say, hey, what can I do for you? So and
turn it into a work trip and get the business.
Thanks, Judy. And exactly, then I can write it up. Thanks, Judy.
I had actually, I had mentioned to Jared that I wanted to spend a summer in Spain. And then I could travel from there, like use it as a hub, and then travel from there to all of our chapters.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because I have family over there as well.
Cool.
And where I was hoping to stay was in the northern part of Spain that borders Portugal. Like, where there's a river that divides Spain and Portugal, and it kind of goes off to the side.
Galicia.
It's south of Galicia.
Okay.
So we're in Amo, and we have an aunt. Well, my uncle's sister is by marriage, so it's actually his sister. She lives on a vineyard. Ooh! I mean, not one of those nice, pretty ones. It's just like your.
Oh, I know what European vineyards look like. I know. Yeah.
And when I went,
it's not Napa. It's not Napa.
Yeah, it's so not Napa.
It's not Napa.
They're not straight line. There's an apple tree in the middle of all the grapes.
Yeah.
Just because. But my plan was to go help her, like, stay there the summer, and then like late summer, so I could stay there through August and help her harvest.
Yeah.
She has that house on the vineyard, which is out in the middle of nowhere in the boonies, that has zero reception.
Oh.
And she has an apartment by the train station in the little town. So my goal was like, okay, well, I'll stay at the apartment at the train station, work from there, and then I could go visit her on the weekends, and then just and it's like, well, because of all this craziness going on, she's now in the apartment in the little town because that's where the church is, and she wants to go.
Okay, I mean, respect.
I can't get over there, but
respect. Like it, and it's her place, so like
it's her place.
Like,
she
come on, man.
To stay at the vineyard, and I'm like, I don't get reception there.
Right.
So
yeah, I have been working remotely and not even like really. Well, I've been telling the people that need to know, but like last year at BBC, I was facilitating workshops back home, and everyone just assumed that I was working at home. And then afterwards, we would go and hang out at the beach, and it was amazing. So, this remote living, man, I don't think there's any going back. Which is actually pretty cool, right? Because like now you're no longer limited. If you have to hire folks, you're no longer limited by geography. Like if I need a team of BAs, as long as you can accommodate the Eastern time zone of North America, you're in. I don't care if you live in the UK or California or Hawaii. I don't care.
It's adjusting your hours.
It's just adjusting your hours. So, I think it opens up the competition for talent. Which I think is cool.
I know of 3 large corporations down here. One of them being a Fortune 500 company that already told their staff that they're getting rid of all their buildings.
Awesome.
So they're actually having, they're scheduling times for you to go. So in blocks of 10, you could go into the office and collect all your personal belongings. And they're letting you take, if you want, your desk and chair. And so you can set up your office at home because they're shutting down buildings.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you know who I feel bad for? Food court.
Those that have a bad marriage.
So that, but I was gonna say food courts. Like they're the ones that are gonna really suffer from the lack of occupancy in especially in like downtown urban centers. Like it's poor food court people.
Agreed.
I finished. No, I'm not done. To the food court people. To the owners and operators of food court, you keep us fed and happy while social. We're at work. And social while we're at work. Cheers.
Yes. So you guys, I have a lot of friends so I grew up, my corporate upbringing was in the cruise line industry.
Yes.
They are suffering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I have a buddy that is like Mr. Cruise. Like he goes on 3 or 4 cruises a year.
Nice.
And he it's like that. It's what he loves. And I think he had one scheduled like now that he can't go on. And stupid COVID, man. Stupid COVID.
Stupid COVID.
Stupid COVID. Anyways. So what else did you guys talk about when you guys didn't invite me to your little soiree?
It was actually talking shop.
Oh, that sucks.
Talking IIBA.
Really?
And how amazing our chapters are.
Okay.
We talked about my 3-day presidency.
Your 3-day presidency?
Yep.
Okay.
Please. I wanted to get the South Florida chapter back up and running because when I moved back, it had fizzled out.
Okay.
There was a gentleman that was getting stuff up and running, and life happened, and he stopped getting the chapter up and running.
Mm-hmm.
And it was BBC in Vegas a few years ago when I was venting with Jared, and I was just a member. I had met Jared at BBC a couple years before. We had become good LinkedIn friends, I guess you could say, or BBC friends, because we would hang out for all the happy hours.
Yeah.
And I was venting on how long it was taking to get South Florida back up and running. And in my venting, I blurted out, I'm just going to do it. And it was one of those open mouth, insert foot moments.
Right.
So I did, because that's what I do. I don't go back on my word. And I got South Florida back up and running. And I had also applied for my current role. So I got the congratulations, the chapter's now chartered. And 3 days later, I got we'd like to extend an offer. So after, I don't know, over a year of going through all the paperwork to get South Florida back up and running, I got to hand it off to someone else.
Is it a conflict though? Like, is that a conflict?
Yeah.
Is it?
Unofficially, I mean, they're volunteers, but unofficially, they kind of sort of report to chapters.
Okay.
And aside from it being a conflict, there are not enough hours in the day to do either one.
Nope.
Sure. So we maybe have to talk, because I've been thinking lately that I need to get more involved.
Ooh.
And I don't know what that
Wow.
means yet.
I like the sounds of it. Though.
I tend to think pretty big, so I'm not really looking at the local chapter.
Huh.
But maybe we need to talk.
I would love to talk. But after my Spanish presentation, because after this, I got to dive back into practicing.
Yeah. No. It's not a rush, right? But like, I think I need to get a little bit more practice on a global scale.
I like the sounds of that.
Yeah. You want to eliminate waste globally.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a threat, Judy. I don't know what this means.
Judy means that you might want to talk to her as our global council chair, chapter council chair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. That's fine. Then we'll talk. I'm happy to go through official channels. We're talking now. So like, sorry, Judy, I didn't mean to offend. I'm just like it's just a thought that's been sort of on my mind. And like, Danelkis, we've talked about this idea of giving back, and I've always said that I'm going to do it when I'm done. Like, after I've built the business and done the speaking and done all that stuff, then I'm going to give back to the community. And it's like, why don't I just do it now? Like, why do I have to
You're talking about legacy, kind of like when you were bringing it up with Bob a few months ago.
Yeah, which he didn't like. But
no, he didn't.
It's not. I mean, I don't even see it as legacy. It's much like doing the speaking thing. Like, I think I just have something to say, and then just having a platform to do it, and so
having an impact in
and having an impact. Yeah, I don't think it's legacy. I think it's more of an immediate impact, and it's not to say that I'm. Sorry.
You and I have talked about that, about just making a difference, and little things do add up.
Yeah. And so
by one person.
Yeah. So it's a thought, but I mean, it's something that's sort of crossed my mind. And of all of the associations that I'm a part of all of the groups that I affiliate with from all of my disciplines, like, this is the one I actually feel the most sort of at home in. So, why am I going to go do anything for PMI? Like, not to throw shade, but like, I hate being
in the sandbox.
No, I get it. What I'm saying, like, I'm not a great project manager, so I would feel bad, being involved in a strategic level of PMI. It wouldn't make sense. I don't know that. I feel like this is different, and so we'll talk.
I have so much respect for PMs because I have slightly done that role, and I do not like it at all.
No, I hated it.
It's not who I am. It's not what I want to do. To me, and this is probably going to sound demeaning, and I know there's so much more into it, but part of it is you kind of got to babysit and be on top of everyone to make sure they're on time, on budget, and what are your risks. That's not me. I want the creative side. I want to think outside the box. I laugh every time I say that now because Judy calls me out on it, where as BAs we're known to think outside the box. I lost my box such a long time ago. I'm like way out there.
But it's not about thinking outside the box. It's about thinking, how can we make the box just a little bit bigger so it's still within scope and capability of everybody that needs to support it. It's not so far out there. It's really trying to shift your focus to, how can we get it done and still support it? Because thinking outside the box usually means extra budget, all kinds of extra stuff. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Babysitting, I can't do it. I like getting work done. I'm going
to go even a step further and say there is no box. Like, the box that, like, we create this artificial box that we have to play in. There is no box.
Yeah,
I think that's that's something that, like, not to say that this pandemic was great. It's not. But it did more for it dispelled the myth that people are unable to work remotely. Like, how many organizations said, "Oh, we could never work remotely. It would never work for us. We just,
And then suddenly, boom,
and suddenly you don't. Well, suddenly you don't have a choice,
right?
and so the truth is there is no box. The box is an artificial construct of ourselves and what we envision. I'm getting really, like, sort of philosophical, but, like, there is no box. Right? Well,
I wish
yes, the
wish
box
I had a
is
picture to share with
bureaucracy.
you guys. So when I went to Minneapolis for their PDD and a couple years ago, and Judy and our president of the chapter at the time was Kim Schilling. We went
Okay.
out and Kim decided to show us the town one of the evenings.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, she had tons of boxes in her backseat, like just empty boxes. I don't know if she was moving or what was going on, but there was tons of boxes in her car. And Judy and I have this running thing that I do not own a box. I'm so out there. There's no box for me. They took and I got stuck sitting in the back seat with all the boxes. So they took pictures of me, like, being consumed by the boxes.
Just in an ocean of boxes.
It was like, hello, I'm here.
Amazing.
It was more like torture, but yeah.
What is like, why no boxes? Is there, like, a background there, or just, like, it's a thing?
I've just always been very creative.
Okay.
And I take the whole 5 why technique into a 25 whys.
Okay.
I would drill down so much into the value aspect of it that we'll end up in a totally different, like, not in the box at all whatsoever.
Okay.
Like, it just spirals one idea with the next. And
Right. Okay, fair enough. It's taking it to that extreme, right? Like, thinking outside of the proverbial box is opening the box and just having fun around it, like getting outside and doing your thing. It's fun. And we've talked about, enterprise analysis and how that is really looking at the box in a sea of boxes, right? And how and I've used your line a couple times. I haven't given you credit, but I've used your line of, like, once you do that type of work, there really is no going back to, regular business analysis. It's so cool to see how things fit together. You can't unsee it. Right? Once you take the red pill, or whichever, the Matrix one. There's a lot of Matrix references today. Once you take that, like, you can't untake it. Right. I don't know what this is referring to, Nicole, but I'm down.
I don't know, but I'm running out.
Angela, I'm done a long time ago. Angela's given love for Minneapolis.
Woo-woo.
So we've got 90 seconds left in the broadcast.
What?
The hour flew by. But I want to give you guys a chance. You guys don't have to go, but we're gonna end the broadcast. In whatever time you need. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. In the time that we've got left, maybe Steve, we'll start with you. Like, any parting words, and if people want to know more about you or hear more about you, what's the best place for them to get at you?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn's probably the best. Stephen A. Jones.
Stephen A. Jones.
There's a lot of Steve Joneses in the world.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
There's a lot.
All right.
For me, it's really about look back and appreciate. I mean, when I went for my CBAP, the process to fill out the application, the self-reflection about everything that I had been through, you learn to appreciate more. And I think that's one of the issues that we have in general is that we're either in the moment or future planning. We don't reflect on what we've been through, so we don't necessarily appreciate all that we've had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
that's deep, man. No, like that's awesome. Like it's
that's inspired from your latest email.
Oh, thank you.
That,
the what's the alternative one or the?
Yep.
Yeah,
entirely inspired by that because
dude, oh my god, wow.
And it made me think, because if you don't realize where you've been or what you've been through, you're not going to appreciate what you can do. You've just achieved, and you're living in the moment. Sure, being present is fantastic, but the issue with that is if you don't self-reflect every once in a while, you don't realize what you've been through and what you can accomplish to be where you are.
And then you're going to
reflect and realize what you can do.
That's awesome, man. That's a great message. Thank you. Danelkis, same. That is a tough act to follow.
No, right?
Maybe we should ask the other Steve Window what he thinks before we come to you.
Hey, that's true. He has two perspectives.
He has
there.
two, but like
that's not. Yeah.
Hey,
I got tons of voices in my head, but I try to ignore them.
Rusty now.
So Danelkis, same message. What last minute thoughts, and then if people want to get at you, where can they get you?
I think the important thing is always to not be selfish, but at the same time stop and reset. Similar to Steve's message is appreciate the little things in life, appreciate what you have accomplished, but more importantly, appreciate those that have your back along the way. We're not in this world by ourselves, and we shouldn't live on our own, but lean on those that we can and celebrate with those that are around us. Unfortunately, life is too short. I unfortunately have gone to way too many funerals in the past 2 years. And it's important to appreciate the little things in life.
Awesome.
I am not, believe it or not, the only Danelkis. But I'm easy to find on LinkedIn. So you're more than welcome to look me up on LinkedIn. Cool. Or it's also easy to write to me at work, which is first name to last name at iiba.org.
There we go. Steve, Danelkis, this has been fun.
It's been fun.
So I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Analysts After Work, and we'll be back right now in 2 weeks. Still booking a second guest, but we've got our good friend Judy appearing in 2 weeks. So it's going to be another fun one. So we'll see you, and thanks again for everyone that joined. Nicole, Mohammed, Dan, Fruz, I see you there, man. Good meeting you. It's been a while, brother. Angela, I think I said Judy.
Did you
if I missed,
often?
I'm sorry.
Bruce has to do them more often.
I know. Well, I'm doing them like every 2 weeks now because like it's a lot to do. But maybe we can. I got an idea on that. Maybe we can talk about that in a second. But for now, we're gonna end on a cliffhanger. What is Vince gonna talk about with Danelkis about doing these more often? But thanks everyone, and thanks Fruz. Juve did crash out of the Champions League, but they did win their 9th straight Italian championship, so it's not a total loss. Thanks everyone. See you in the next one.
Bye. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.